Hello.
Hey!
Live.
Friday Night Live, oh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Lovely to see you.
Yeah.
It's
But-
Friday again.
I know. I've had a haircut.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah.
A completely legal haircut. I
Yeah.
did Mark's,
Yeah.
and my fiancée Emma did mine. Yeah. And I can't believe it's Friday again. It just keeps coming round, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. Flying by at the moment.
Rocketing by time at the moment. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just because there's still nothing to do, and it's just all I've got. Like, this is like the anchor of my week, if you know what I mean.
It was a cheeky 4-day week this week as well, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. That was good, wasn't it?
But yeah, number one record we usually start with on these Friday Night Lives, and the Snuts got it. You called it correctly.
I did, yeah.
It's between them and Demi Lovato, and really impressive that they managed to get that, I think.
First of all, amazing. Like, the
Yeah.
Snuts, class, well in, lads. They're not
Yeah.
watching. It's not that good of an album for me. I just think it shows how bad the Demi Lovato record was. And how like inaccessible it was, maybe. And how much of a fan base the Snuts have. Like, they were able to mobilise that fan base and really like hammer it. So fair play to them. Very good timing.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose, like, I know we were saying it's a bit cheating, isn't it, at the moment? Like, not many people are releasing stuff, so if you want to go for a number one, it's a good time to release a record now. But, like, people looking back on the record books aren't going to...
No, there's no context, is there? It's just their name,
the
The Snuts, number one. Number one album, Happy Days. And beat an incredibly famous person to it, you know. Fair play, Happy Days. But there's been some lovely music released today. Obviously, we're going to get cracking, get through that. We're going to chat about 2 albums, one from Flight and one from Francis. And we've got some singles, a load of singles, really, haven't we? Some that surprised me, that really surprised me. I really enjoyed. Mark makes a playlist for me every week, and I don't know, do you post it anywhere?
Not at the moment, but I'll share it in the comments.
Yeah, maybe share it in the comments, because like it's just really nice for me to kind of like work my way through every Friday, because I find it difficult to collate myself and focus on one task at a time. So I can just press play and just listen to the singles that have been released. And I know Spotify does that at the moment, but I feel like Spotify does it, and it's like, here's 7 remixes from songs that were released like 9 months ago. On Spotify, it kind of does my head in. Yeah,
talking about that as well, there is a quite major album out today, which we're not going to touch on, which is Taylor Swift's one of her reissues, isn't it? It's because it's a reissue and it's like re-recorded. It's not really that interesting to talk about, is it?
No.
Like, I'm sure it's not that different to what it was originally. But it's mad that it's still daylight as well, isn't it? Like,
I know,
not really helping with our studio setup here, but we need to get like blackout curtains or something.
But I just wanted to mention that the comments are open, so like if you do type anything in the comments, we will see it straight away here, and we can we can chat. We can chat and comment and chat and comment. Engage. Should we crack on?
Album number 1, Flight. This is really going to hurt, and you've been dying to talk about. You've been dying to hear this record, haven't you? Because they're one of your favourite bands. But you've been dying to talk about it as well. So take the floor.
I think I'm going to run out of superlatives to talk about this record.
Here we go.
Yeah, here it is. It's heartbreaking. It's as heartbreaking as it is wonderful.
It's a breakup album.
It's a breakup album, and it's funny. I don't know whether it's a breakup album of like the band or of an actual relationship. I need to do a little bit more digging, really. But like, I've Got a Girl was about the keyboardist leaving, wasn't it? So and I don't know whether it's just like in general breakups, or whether it was like...
I was reading it was a bit of both.
Right.
Like the keyboard, he still sort of went on to blame his girlfriend for him leaving, really. Because it's like, I've got a girl breaking up the band or something like that.
You get that like Yoko Ono sort of vibe from the song, don't you? especially from the lyrics. But I was so excited this morning when I got to put this on my way to work, and it just didn't disappoint. Track after track was just sublimely written. It was everything I wanted and more out of this record. I was just so excited about it. Everything. I really, really like Flight. I've loved Flight for a while, and I hope they get a number one record.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they will.
Yeah, with Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I just think that is an army that you just don't want to mess with.
It's maybe a stretch too far.
But it's going to be up there because it's absolutely terrific, this record. It ebbs and flows, and it's natural, and it kind of like, before you know it, you're engulfed by it. I felt anyway. I was just, it's like a sucker punch to the feelings.
Yeah.
You know, what a record this is. I love it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I've not obviously been as into Flight as you have, and that's just through not listening to them, not because I don't like them or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I've heard from them I really like, and the album was great. I listened to it about 3 times today.
Somehow I've listened to it 3 times.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited to I ordered the vinyl the other day, hopefully that'll be coming this weekend, and I'm just dead excited to over the weekend have it open and look at all the imagery that they've chosen specifically for it, look through all the lyrics as I'm listening to it, and just really spend some time with the record. I'm really, really excited to live with this one. Yeah,
it was a nice Beatles-esque production on it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Really raw production on it.
Yeah, you know, they've been very, very good online about what they're posting and the clips and everything that they've been putting out. I think it's been so smart and so wonderfully done. There's been some studio stuff that like clips that they've put into their Instagram. It's all very natural, and they're all in one room and they're playing it live, and doesn't really seem to be click tracks and all this modern stuff. You're right, it's got this echoes of the past sort of thing, vintage feel. You know, kind of Neil Young-y, Tom Petty, that kind of even John Lennon's solo stuff. Some of the tracks have got that feel to them, and it's just their songwriting. I feel like they've just really stepped up. They've grown up, and this record is like a masterclass in tension and release.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about it. That's one thing that it draws you in, and then hits you in the face, and then the tension gets released. It's quite.
I mean, not a bad thing, but maybe not a good thing either. But it's quite a angry, personal album, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it doesn't hold any punches. I don't think lyrically, and as I say, I need to delve more into it. I want to live in this world that they've created for a while. I want to really drink it in and soak it in and understand what was going on, because as you say, it's personal, and it packs a punch. Yeah.
Do you know the story behind the album artwork?
I don't know.
Didn't interest in one of them.
I want to find out. I really do. Yeah, I mean, the title, "This Is Really Going to Hurt."
Yeah.
It does it. It breaks your heart, and it kind of builds you back up again. It's just a wonderful record, and I would give it 5 out of 5 now.
Yeah.
If we were doing a normal, for me, this is one of the best records I've listened to in the last 10 years, maybe.
Yeah. Brilliant. So we'll move on to album number 2. Willow. Looking clean, the boys. Great to see Flight on the show.
Yeah, it is good to see Flight on the show.
Maybe we'll do a full podcast episode.
Yeah, that'd be great. Actually, I'd love that. Yeah, series 2, episode 1, maybe.
Or episode 10 for the series.
Yeah, maybe.
So this next album, Francis, and it's called Wonder. It's like an 8-song thing.
It's like a mini album, EP sort of thing.
I'm not sure what you call it exactly, but she's from Berkshire, singer-songwriter. and she was she was on the shortlist for the Brits Critics' Choice in 2016. And she's gone on to sort of write quite a lot, hasn't she, for Dua Lipa and Katy Perry, people like that. What did you think of this one?
I did like it. It's not my bag, but I can tell that it's like incredibly. It's not even current. I feel like it's a step ahead of everyone at the moment.
Yeah.
It didn't quite land with me, just because I feel like it's anticipating what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In the music industry, like it's incredibly clever and thought about, and you can kind of pick out like incredible pop bits and idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wrapped up in this like solo artist project thing.
Yeah.
Which has a bit more colour and a bit more personality, which I quite enjoyed. But as I say, it's just not quite my personal bag.
Yeah.
But I can tell it's very, very, very good for what it is. It's a quality product. It's just not one that I probably am going to buy into.
Same for me. Yeah, as you say, you can tell the good songs, and she's got an incredible voice.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like the highlight. Her voice is something special.
Yeah, definitely. But I did think it was maybe in the realms of Demi Lovato last week. It was quite forgettable.
A little bit. Yeah. No, I genuinely thought the Demi Lovato one was just bad in general. This is like, you can tell it's a good product. You can tell it's like, I like the tones, and I like the colours and the imagery, and I like the aesthetic of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I probably will never go, do you know what, I'd love to listen to that Francis record.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Which is just, that's just music, isn't it? You know? The point of this is that we give our opinions, but I kind of, when I say I enjoyed it, it was just nice to have on in the background. But for me, like, it was something that I wouldn't really pay that much more attention to above that.
Yeah.
If they came on the radio and I was in the car, it'd be great, lovely. It's just not something that I'm gonna like maybe buy into.
Yeah, no, I think same for me as well. Definitely not going to rush back to listen to it again. But
do you know what? I'm interested in what she does next, though.
Yeah.
That this is kind of the thing that I'm like, is this like the precursor to her being? She works so well on, like, say for example, like off the top of my head, just like Sigala released a track and she's the vocalist.
Yeah.
Or Calvin Harris released a track and she's the vocalist. Like, that would work. That would work so well. And this might be the precursor to her being her own. Obviously, as you've said, she's written for everyone.
Yeah.
So is this the precursor to some kind of ginormous collaboration that's going to like rocket her into the public domain, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that for me, I want that. I would like to listen to just one of them like summer pop bangers, but with her singing it. That'd be great.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah. So we'll move on to the singles. We've only chosen a couple of albums this week because we wanted to give centre stage to the Flight one, didn't we?
Definitely.
There was quite a lot, but not really any of note, to be honest, apart from those two and Taylor Swift. So we move on to the singles. This is an artist called Josin, I think that's how you say it, and it's called The Darkness. I discovered this today just on Bill Ryder Jones's Instagram stories. I think he played on this song this track, so I thought it might be a good one if he's involved in it to have a listen to.
Again, I can tell it's kind of a quality product.
Yeah.
It's just, it bored me.
Yeah, it bored me too, yeah.
It's just one of them like ethereal,
ambient
sort of, kind of buildy sort of things, and it's just not my thing. It was a bit too wishy-washy, if you know what I mean.
It's good. As you say, like a really interesting soundscape and quite cinematic, but sort of in the realm of who's that, Ben Howard sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. The like a soundscape rather than a song.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I
couldn't really like get my teeth sunk right into it and like really.
Yeah.
It just kind of passed me by, and like, I kind of looked down and thought, right, I'm gonna skip this, and it was like 20 seconds until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought, it's not really anything that I would ever Again, I can tell that people would be like super into this.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Yeah.
That Bill Ryder Jones scene.
Yeah.
You know, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just not for me.
Move on to the next one, then. It's a lot more upbeat.
Yeah.
Probably the most upbeat song so far. Years and Years, Starstruck. So, Ollie Alexander. This is the first track from Years and Years since they've gone to like Ollie Alexander solo project. Like the other members of the band have stepped away, and it's just him now, basically. But yeah, it's still got that Years and Years feel to it, I thought, and it's quite early 2000, like Basement Jaxxy type sound. I got from it,
definitely. Did you like it?
I really liked it. Yeah, really nice summery pop tune. I can't really go wrong with it.
This was the first one on the playlist that you did that, like, it surprised me.
Yeah.
And the best thing was it carried on surprising me throughout the whole thing. Because at the first listen, when I turned it on, I was like, oh God. Someone listened to Dua Lipa's record.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can take or leave this.
Yeah.
And then it kind of carried on growing. And more stuff started happening that wasn't just, hey, I've listened to Dua Lipa's record and isn't disco fun. It just carried on getting better and better for me, which was really, really nice. As I say, like, I turned it on within 10 seconds. I was about to turn it off, and then it kind of it grew on me. It really, like, but isn't that great that I can literally do a 180 in like I don't know 10, 15 seconds, and I was hooked. I've played it 3 or 4 times today. I really like this tune. Yeah. As you say, it's like a really just nice summer track that you're just gonna probably hear on the radio for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Be interesting to know what exactly the setup is now. He's a solo project, because
like how much did he do beforehand? So like what are they losing / gaining from it just being him
involved in the writing, or like are they still going to play live with him? Like, is he going to play with a band? Is it just going to be him with a backing track?
Isn't Ollie Alexander a really good name?
Yeah,
that should have just been the thing. Yeah. Like that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It sounds like a rock star,
especially after like how It's a Sin blew up and became this like really massive show, and then he rocketed into like, you know, it seemed the right time to sort of go Ollie Alexander solo, really, rather than
which it is.
Yeah, but just under the same name as what he was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, great tune.
But I really liked it. Do you know what? Production wise, it kind of surprised me later on.
Yeah.
As I say, first 15 seconds, like that intro was just like, we've listened to Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
And then after that, production-wise even, it was like they'd taken that and done it, as you say, but with early 2000s production value on it, and it was, and as you say, that Basement Jaxxy kind of thing. Really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. Definitely.
Nice one. So next up, 21 Pilots are back with a single called Shy Away. I think these have like headlined Reading and Leeds before, haven't they? Or co-headlined maybe?
Apparently.
Yeah.
And these are ones that just completely passed me by.
Yeah, same.
I think as well, we're not the demographic for who they like pander to.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, I was reading quite an interesting thing about this song, that it started as a tutorial for Tyler Joseph's younger brother, who's the lead singer, and he asked him, like, you know, how do you produce a song, basically, and he was sort of like laying out start to finish, and this is like what he came up with, basically. But yeah, again, it's like I got maybe like mid 2000s vibes from this, sort of like, yeah, like that Orson and Rooney sort of era. Yeah. How
good were Orson?
Yeah, they were really good.
They were cool. He just needed to wear less trilbies.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was bald, so yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but just be bald, that's fine. Yeah. No one's really that bothered, are they?
Well, do you like it?
This was the complete opposite to the Years and Years one for me. It came on and I was like, ooh, hiya. And then the longer it went on, the more it bored me.
Alright, okay.
I kind of lost me. As I say, came on and I thought, oh, this is kind of like a Julian Casablancas record, or a weird Strokes record, or just had that tonality to it, if you know what I mean. I had someone else in mind that it was reminiscent of, but I can't really think any at the moment.
Very like that American indie.
Yeah, definitely.
California type sound.
Yeah. But as I say, there was just something about it that lost me, kind of a third to halfway through.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was doing other things while I was listening to this.
Yeah.
But other songs on this, so like the Years and Years one, did the opposite. So like I was like, oh, but then I just stopped doing the thing that I was doing and listened to it, because I feel like that's like the test.
Yeah.
If you've got it on in the background and you stop and listen, it's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas this one was the complete opposite, really.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because maybe I should listen to these, because they're obviously very successful.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give them a little bit more of a chance.
They the ones that played the Champions League final before in Madrid.
Possibly.
Yeah. Sure.
See, I only ever remember Dua Lipa in.
I think it was them. Actually. The ones with the drums.
There is. It's just a guy. It's a singer and a drummer in it.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think 24. I think that's 21. But he only plays like kick, snare, hat.
Right. These are like the ones with like the sort of bass drums that they play and stuff with sticks. I can't remember. Move on.
Top content, the lads.
Holly Humberstone, Haunted House, and this is about the Lincolnshire home that she grew up in.
Great, it's great.
Yeah, really good. Yeah,
everything she seems to put out at the moment, I'm just banging.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she makes a vocal and a guitar sound like more than the sum of its parts, if that makes sense. You know, I think she's someone that's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
in the future.
Definitely, she's got a really interesting voice, hasn't she? And I really love how stripped back this song is, just with the piano, and I think there's a few strings and stuff behind it in the chorus. It's quite like Lana Del Rey style chorus.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I really like the fact you can hear like the creaks of the chair and stuff.
It gives it the thing that you're in the room, doesn't it? And it
really intimate.
These things should be on recordings, you know, because it's a recording of one thing that you get with Holly Humberstone every time, I think, is that it's a recording of a performance.
Yeah, it was like a live performance, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's such a lovely thing in this day and age, where it's like, obviously things can go, you know, even to like letters, redoing letters and stuff, where you can chop in, and this is just something natural and human that you can like really lay your hat on, and it's such lovely music. As you say, it's very reminiscent of kind of early Lana Del Rey stuff, and it's just, I really want to go and watch her live. It's not the kind of thing that I would normally go and watch live, but she makes me want to go and watch her live, as I say, because it's a performance that you're listening to whenever you, and it's I get like feels from it, you know. So yeah, I would definitely go and watch Holly Humberstone. Some of them tunes she did. I've mentioned it before, haven't I? She did like a live session underneath a bridge in Scotland, I think it is, for James Corden's show in America. And it's amazing. Like cars are going past and stuff, and she's just like at night underneath a bridge, and wonderful. Yeah, really cool.
Definitely, we'll have to see where she's playing. Try and get tickets. Where are we? London Grammar, America. I really like this one as well. This is from the third album, which is out next week, which I'm sure we'll listen to.
Yeah, definitely.
Another one that's just really stripped back and very emotive. Apparently, it was a goodbye to the songs that she thought she wouldn't write because she wasn't sure she was really cut out for the music industry.
Oh, wow.
And that American dream sort of being
that's cool.
See.
This one was another one that surprised me in a really positive way. This is not the sort of track that I expect from London Grammar. When I think of London Grammar, I think of like hard hitting house music, really. Like house pop, housey pop. I don't know. It's stripped back. It's ethereal. It's seems a lot more natural than the stuff that they've done in the past.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. It was something that I could it did stop me, and I thought, this doesn't sound like London Grammar at all. And that was a really nice thing, I thought. It was just a really easygoing kind of ballad, wasn't it? And just had a lot of things that surprised me throughout. Again,
really nice like string arrangements in this.
Yeah.
And she's just got a gorgeous voice as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it was it was just like a really well put together song. Nice. Yeah, just nice. Yeah. Really, nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It was just nice, and it was something that I didn't expect from. It's brave, isn't it, to do something like that? You know, where if you're known for just like massive pop house tunes, it's brave to come out with just a ballad.
Yeah, and we like
we do like a brave record. We like people to be brave, and there's more people should be brave. Courage is something that I think in music is just one of the most wonderful traits to have, and being your own thing, and it just comes out in this record. It's lovely. Yeah,
definitely. I think this and Holly Humberstone were really sort of examples of like being your own thing.
Definitely, and like unapologetically. And if there's one thing that you can kind of say about Holly Humberstone is that maybe a lot of her stuff sounds the same, but when the stuff sounds like that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If the thing that you do over and over again is that, crack on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're only going to be doing the best.
Yeah.
She's very, very, very good. I enjoy it. Yeah, and I enjoyed this one. I don't know how it'll work in their set though.
Yeah.
But maybe every pop act needs a ballad.
Yeah. Bit of a lull in the set.
Yeah.
The Lathams, Oh My Love. This is a band from Wigan, indie band, who are doing really big stuff at the moment, aren't they? They've got really impressive support tours. They're doing the MEN Arena with Blossoms. They're doing like main stage at like Kendall Calling and like Chuck Festival, that sort of.
Truck Festival's lineup came out this week, and it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I again really enjoyed this song. I've not listened to loads of the Lathams before. Like I know that they're good, and I know that they're doing well. But I just maybe haven't had the capacity to like properly sit down and listen to them yet. So this surprised me in a really good way.
Do you know what I think it was for me? When you feel like a band is on a wave and they're on like a trip and they're going. Sometimes it passes me by and I'm like,
definitely,
there's just like there's no point that I can join in that conga line.
Yeah.
There's no break in the conga line for me to jump into and be like with it and on with it and I feel like with the Lathams, up until a couple of months ago, I think maybe it was like January or December, they were on Jules Holland.
Oh, right, okay.
From Parr Street.
Yeah.
And I only saw it because I follow an sound engineer from Parr Street who was doing the sound for obviously did the sound pre.
That Rich Terry.
Yeah. And it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. It was something I'd not really heard before.
Yeah.
It was kind of reminiscent of the ska pop. Indie pop thing that happened like mid 2000s.
It's a lot of like throwbacks this week, really, aren't there? Like with that sort of 2000s.
Definitely, yeah. Which is weird because there's a lot of like I can't move like skateboarders at the moment. Like we went to Liverpool, walked down Liverpool like last week, and it was just skateboarders knocking about, and they're all like listening to Avril Lavigne, and genuinely feels like you've gone back in time sometimes, doesn't it? But this track from the Lathams, I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like the past couple they've released, I've really enjoyed.
Yeah. And
I feel like they're just doing things really organically, and it's really nice to see a band from the north doing well.
Yeah, definitely.
And
you made a good comparison, didn't you?
They sound a bit like the House Martins, but in like the best way, not in the cheesy. It's a good place to be. In a good way. They've got that indie twangy thing that the House Martins had, but with the pop surrounding in a pop thing.
It's not like your classic like northern singing sort of scrappy thing. It's more like pronounced and
it's polished, isn't it? Yeah. That's where the pop thing comes from, I think. And there's the one that they did on Jools Holland. You can't half sing quick.
Yeah,
it was like rapping almost, some of it. But they're young and they're like raw, but great at the same time, and the whole thing just feels great to me.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of them until like I saw them on the poster for the Blossoms MEN Arena gig. Yeah. So I was like, how have they got that? Like, I've never heard of them. They're going straight to supporting Blossoms at the MEN. Like, they must be best mates with them or something. But yeah, obviously they've got good management, and they were already doing well before I discovered them.
Yeah, and is that like they have this part of their sound kind of comes from they use a certain kind of guitar called the Rickenbacker.
No, right.
The lead guitarist uses a Rickenbacker, and it's that like Johnny Marr-esque. Yeah, there's a bit of the Smiths, that Manchester kind of thing jangly and guitar, jangly and I just think it's great. Yeah. I'm excited to see what they do at Kendal Calling and stuff. I think they're going to be a great live band.
Yeah. So we're going to the penultimate track of the show, which is 10 Tons, Everything You Got. If you don't know much about 10 Tons, he is actually George Ezra's younger brother. And yeah, he's been around for a few years now. I saw him in like the loft of a pub in the Great Escape in Brighton.
Oh, sick.
It's really good. Like this was like before his first album, like 2017. I'd heard maybe like one of his tracks on the radio. I thought, I definitely need to check him out. And he's just really polished, but like a bit obviously rawer, a bit more indie than George Ezra's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he really knows how to write a chorus like his brother. Really.
They're probably sending each other. Yeah,
I'd like to see what they grew up on, like what their parents fed them or whatever. Not food, but like what they listened to. Magic food. But yeah, apparently he's jibbed Warner Brothers off, which is the label he was signed to as well, and he's made his own label, Silver Heat, which is, I guess, a bit easier to do when you've got George Ezra as a brother. But
well, yeah,
but
fair play to him. Yeah, if that's something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Jibbed off as in, like, do you know any kind
I don't know. I just saw that he'd left, or he parted ways.
Right. Okay.
Said, yeah.
I'm wondering if it's like here's the next contract that we'll offer you.
Yeah.
And he's gone, no thanks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that, which is slightly less headline worthy than parted ways with the but that's fine. This one was weird for me. I couldn't, there was something about it, and it's mad. I was because it was on the playlist with like such well produced tracks. I honestly I thought, is this like a home demo? It sounded like Logic drums, and it just sounded a bit cheap and a bit but not in like a garage indie kind of way. Just in a what's going on here? Has he done it himself during lockdown, or I don't know? I mean, maybe this kind of plays into the fact that he has his own label. Possibly he has done it himself, and that's fine. It didn't. There's just something about it that it didn't fit on that playlist, and I think it was because of the production on it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I just couldn't kind of get past it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was, as I say, I know a bit about him anyway. I've listened to his first album and stuff. But yeah, I really like him, and yeah, another sort of anthemic banger from him, I thought.
Yeah, maybe I need to give it another go and use some headphones or something. But as I say, just with my phone speaker before, and it just passed me by a little bit because of that production value thing. It wasn't in the same group as the others that were there.
Fair play. Let's move on to the final song of the night, Darwin Dee's The Birthday Song.
This is so good.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's just gritty, and it's like, it's muso-y, and it's everything that Darwin Dee stands for. If you said to me, like, do me a favour and draw a picture of a Darwin Dee's track, this is the picture that you draw, isn't it? Like, it's lit. This is such a boss track. I really, 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 really enjoyed it, and I'm a big fan of Darwin Deez anyway. But this was like, he's taken the time during like this lockdown, because we were meant to see him last year, around this time last year, when it was the 28th of April, I think he was meant to be playing in Liverpool, and I was so gutted that he didn't. Obviously, lockdown hit, and you know, was they going to be the day before my birthday, and it was going to kind of contribute to, you know, a lot of things happening in April, but it feels like he's taken this time out to like distill everything that is his music, and this is the product of that.
Quintessentially Darwin Deez, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
As you say, it's like, it is muso, but it's like the most accessible like muso type music you'd ever find.
Yeah, exactly.
So poppy and but yeah, so clever. Like as you said before, like sort of falls into like choruses and stuff, and like
there's just like I mean, if when we were talking about like people being themselves, Jesus Christ, and Chris, absolutely up for a few beers at a gig, definitely, mate. Yeah, maybe we could go up to Kendal. That's where Chris is from.
Oh, right. Are you going to Kendal Calling?
Oh shit! Yeah, we're going to Kendal Calling. See you at Kendal, mate. But yeah, this is great, and I love the hat and the, you know, on the artwork.
Yeah.
There's just everything, because that's like the type of hat he's worn for years, and everything just seems so him. Like, you know, talking about people who are very themselves, he has been unapologetically himself throughout the whole of his music career, and I love that about him. He is such a wonderful artist.
Yeah, it's another one who really knows how to write a chorus as well, isn't he?
Yeah, not off. And one thing I love about this track is that if it was on his first record, you wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But also this being his like thing that he's grown over the past year, and it's like possibly the start of his fourth record. Yeah, you know, and you're like, that's still also correct. But both of these things could have been the case. And I just love that. I'm really excited to see if it is something that is coming, or if it's just a track, and then that's it. Happy days. Either way, I love it. It's boss for me. It's so gritty, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
it's like dark pop.
Yeah,
that's what I always think about Darwin Deez. It's like this odd version of pop that I feel like only a few people genuinely buy into.
Yeah. I told you recently, didn't I? I think it was like 2014. Maybe it was earlier than that. It was like a Sound City that when it was in the city centre. So it might have been before when it moved to Bramley Dock. And it was like in that car park, you know, in opposite the Casimir.
Oh yeah.
And I saw him there, and as we were walking out, he was just chilling, like after his set. I was like, "Oh, do you mind if I get a picture of me?" He's like, yeah. He's just like so not sound, and so like hated the fact we wanted to photo with him. But to be fair, he must have been knackered and in a weird place, and playing in a car park.
He isn't like the most personable person in the world. Like, I think he's gotten better at that. Yeah. He has gotten a lot better at that. Yeah. There's a brilliant documentary he put out last year, about like a tour that he did the year before, maybe. I think like a tour got cancelled that was through a booking agent, you know, and like it was all meant to be organised well and all this stuff, and it got cancelled at the last minute, or something happened, and he thought, sod it, I'm gonna go on tour. So he literally just went on Twitter and said, if you have a party or a place for me to play and sleep, we'll come there if you can raise, I think it was like $122 or something. That was like the cost of hiring the band, and if you let us sleep in the place that we play, then we'll play. And it's a documentary of them like travelling around America in a van, just playing like university parties, and it's absolutely wonderful. It just it's like it I feel like it gives you that thing that you start music for.
Yeah.
If it was just that that spark plug moment of like, oh, I want to go back on the road, you know. Yeah. It was great, and I would recommend it to watch it. Definitely, it's on YouTube, I think.
Have you got any other music documentaries that you like?
That I love.
That you love. Recommendations.
There's a brilliant one called From Austin to Boston,
yeah.
And it's Nathaniel Rateliff, the Staves, and Ben Howard. They all play in South by Southwest in Austin, and then they hire a fleet of VW camper vans, like proper vintage ones, and they drive up the East Coast of America playing gigs all the way up to New York, I think. Oh no, well, to Boston, and it's terrific. It's just like, again, it's very like boho, and it's all that kind of acoustic stuff and folky, and it plays into that kind of thing. Talahina Sky is a classic, isn't it?
That Kings of
Leon one, I can't really think of it. I tried to watch a Tom Petty one once, and it was like 4 hours long, and it just, I was just like, I know he's done a load of stuff, but Jesus Christ.
There was one like premiering at South by Southwest the other day, Tom Petty one. It's like a load of like what's that camera's called, like Super 8 footage or whatever they found, and put it together as when he was working with Rick Rubin.
Oh, sick.
I turned off after 20 minutes. It was just
I love Tom Petty. I think he's great, but every kind of like documentary I've ever seen about him is just like the most self-serving. It's just, I don't know, that's the point of a documentary, but I just think like, tell a story. Don't just like tell me how good you are. I already know how good you are. But I can't think of any others off the top of my head actually. Can you?
I mean, obviously that Demi Lovato one was good that I watched the other day at South by Southwest. That Framing Britney one's decent. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
No, I haven't.
It's about like the conservativeship thing with their dad and stuff. It was on.
That whole hashtag Free Britney thing.
Yeah, that was quite good. And well, who can not enjoy Fire Festival? It's not really about music.
Oh, that's the best one. I should totally. We need to watch that again soon. That is the best one. You won. You won. Like, that is the best one, isn't it? If you don't love Fire Festival documentary, there's something wrong with it. The characters in that whole documentary are just the best, aren't they? And like, because you know what happens at the end from the start.
Yeah.
You can just sit there and go and just laugh at people for an hour. It's great.
But even though you knew sort of the end results, it was so shocking, sort of some of the stuff that happened in between, wasn't it?
It was like a natural disaster at the end, wasn't it?
You need to check that out on Netflix if you haven't seen that Fire Festival.
I fully need to watch that one. Have you seen that new one that's come out? It's not a music one at all. It's Seaspiracy.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
I just can't bring myself to watch it. It's just going to be one of them where at the end they're like, be vegan.
Yeah, I think it's made by the same people as that cow one, isn't it?
That makes sense. Yeah.
And they said that cows farting was like the worst thing for the environment, didn't they? And now the same
fish are.
Yeah, which is fine, but it sort of like makes you disregard them a little bit, like they're saying two separate things. Like, I know they're both important issues, but
yeah. Did you see that truck festival?
Yeah, really good lineup. Yeah.
Where is that?
I think
is it somewhere down south?
Yeah.
And when I say down south, I mean past Birmingham.
There's two, isn't there? There's Truck Festival and there's Why Not, which are both like on the same weekend. I think they might be. I don't know if they're linked or they share bands anyway.
Right, like Reading and Leeds sort of vibe.
Yeah. They don't share the full lineup. There's usually like one, headliner, which is different to the others. But I think Truck is down south, quite far down south. Why Not, like maybe around Derbyshire.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So the south.
Yeah. Well. Slightly north, south, Midlands.
Yeah. No, I saw it and I was like, ooh, that looks nice. That looks like a really fun weekend, doesn't it? And I don't know what kind of size it is, Truck Festival.
Yeah, it's probably similar to Kendall Calling, I think. That sort of
main stage, kind of
maybe like 5 stages altogether.
Yeah,
4 or 5 stages. Yeah.
There's some festivals in this. We're spoiled, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, and this whole thing has taught me that like we are spoiled with music festivals in this country, and like when I say spoiled, I mean not like the big ones.
Yeah.
There's so many smaller ones, boutique ones, that you would never have even heard of unless you could try and like get into the circuit of it or whatever. And like there really is so many that are quality.
Yeah.
And that you would have a good weekend at regardless.
Yeah, the growth in some of them as well. Like we saw a video of like Kendall Corlin in like
2010 was it? Yeah.
So it was like 5 years in, and it was just like a tiny main stage, wasn't
it?
Like,
yeah. It looked really odd.
Yeah.
Futurehead's playing it.
Yeah. Now it's grown into this like quite big festival, really.
Yeah. It's really interesting, isn't it? Like, what is the goal of some of these things? Is it just to start to see where it goes, or do they have like this is the size that we want to be one day? I always feel like is Isle of Wight finished now?
No, it's it's on this year, but it's moved to September.
That's been going for years, hasn't it? That's like
that's one of the oldest
70s or something. I saw a photo of that. Yeah, I mean, like if you want to have some kind of corona anxiety feelings, there was a photo that someone posted of the Isle of Wight festival in like 1978 or something, and there was like 200,000 people in one field, and it was like I just had that like corona like panic attack thing of like, you can't have that many people in the same place.
It had that sort of legendary
Woodstock of thing.
Yeah.
Seems like an interesting festival to go to.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed. Yeah, I've never been to the Isle of Wight either. So
which one is the Isle of Wight?
One of the Channel Islands, is it? Like,
is it that way? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too many like Isle of something.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's not the Isle of Man, if that's what you're
Isle of
thinking.
Man. That's the other way, isn't it?
That's closest to us.
Yeah. And then there's one at the bottom, isn't there?
That's the Isle of Wight. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Geography.
But yeah. Some good festivals to look at. I saw another one in Cumbria, actually. It's called Saltfest, I think.
Sol,
S-O-L.
All right.
Like later on in the summer, and that's a really good lineup as well.
I think one interesting thing about the smaller festivals is that you get smaller bands headlining.
Yeah.
And you might not see a headline set out of these smaller bands unless you go and see them at these festivals, and I think that's just quite a nice thing. Like the Lathams could probably headline one of the more boutique festivals, and you'd see a headline set out of them rather than a festival set, which is
like just a Green Man or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is interesting, and it's great. It must be like a great leg up and like a great feeling for a band of that size to be asked to headline a festival in that capacity, and it must just be boss, mustn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I had another thing that we could talk about, and I've completely forgotten it now, which is always going to happen, isn't it? Next week we've got a load of music. Next week's show is probably going to be a bumper show, isn't it? We'll have to rattle through them because there seems to be quite a lot of music coming out next week. We've got London Grammar's record, haven't we? Monkey Junkie.
Yeah.
Who's a local, I don't even know what genre you'd put it in. It's like spoken word, but then auto-tuned with
hip-hop
slash indie
slash
wonky
Asian sort of sound.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he's brilliant. There's no one like him really, so I'm really looking forward to this album. Yeah,
and like the tracks that he's kind of teased online because he nearly released it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he didn't release it, and then he is actually going to he's going to release it this Friday. But the tracks that he teased online before he released, I was like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I got really excited, and then I was like a bit deflated when he kind of pulled it out, pulled it. But I'm super excited that it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll try and get him on the show as well. Hopefully.
We'll try and do
he'll be
it.
on soon.
Yeah. Even if it's a little bit further on down the line, maybe.
Yeah.
When we can he can come here, or we can go there, or something. He's great, by the way. Like he's such an interesting person, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got like one of them people with just a great story, hasn't he? Like
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's lived in like New York, London, India,
Like name a place that's cool. He's probably lived there.
Now he's in Birkenhead.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited about them too. I'm super excited about Harm, who are another local band, aren't they? They're if you did like last year when Liverpool won the league. Did you? Liverpool won the league. So Harm were BT Sports. What do you even call that?
Jingle.
Like jingle theme tune thing. The I Believe It Now. Anyway, that was a sample from them sampling that.
Yeah.
But it was them that had done that, and they've had a little bit of success, but they've taken a bit of a break recently, haven't they? And we've got a new track coming out next week off them, and I'm super excited about it because it seems this. From what they teased online today, it sounds great, and I'm really, really excited for it. Is there anything else coming out next week? Off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure I've heard of more that's coming out next week.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the element of surprise. Things are gonna just. I hope something drops soon. It's
definitely.
We haven't really had one of them mad surprise records lately, have we?
No.
It's all been like, this is gonna happen soon. Where you haven't had like Ed Sheeran just being like, here's a record, nice one, see you later. Thanks for the 15 trillion quid off Spotify.
London Grammar, The Offspring.
The Offspring. That is so your dad. That's outrageous that they're still putting original music out.
And Paul McCartney's doing like his remix from album from McCartney 3 as well. He's been doing some like remixes, hasn't he?
Is Beck one of them?
Yeah.
I listened to that the other day. It was well good.
Yeah, so that'd be worth a listen, definitely.
Yeah. Because I really enjoyed that record, and you weren't like hugely sold on it, were you? Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if it being remixed by certain people has maybe changed a view on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we were going to do a full show on it, weren't we? And it just kind of fizzled out that. Something else cropped up and we did it on that anyway. But yeah, maybe we do maybe we finish this series with Flight. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it,
Yeah, we'll give it a week or so I can really digest it and soak it in.
Yeah.
And I can get more opinions on it other than its boss.
Yeah.
You already know it's going to be a 5 out of 5, but you know, that's half the fun. The Wombats are doing a listen along tonight, aren't they?
Listening party.
Tim's Twitter listening party, I think. I don't know whether it is Tim's, but they're doing a Twitter listening party of the first album.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
One of our faves.
Yeah, big time, yeah. I don't know what time it is happening at, but it's happening tonight. So if you absolutely love that record like us, I'm definitely going to look back through it if it's if it's still knocking about, because I love that record. And seems like what they're doing at the moment is a bit odd. I wonder whether they're gearing up to release something soon or put something out
on socials and stuff.
Content wise, they're kind of ramping up, and I just wonder whether they've got a batch of songs. Do you know what'd be cool, really cool from them? An EP. I'd love an EP from the Wombats. Like, I feel like maybe that last record was a bit. You probably could have taken some of the tracks off it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I feel like they're at a point in their careers where they could do 4 incredible songs.
Yeah.
Put them out. See you later.
Yeah. That was an exciting time, wasn't it? The build up to when we used to go and see them in the Zanzibar, like they used to have their own club night in the Zanzibar, and then they moved to like Korova, and then they moved up to Academy 2, didn't they?
And then they finally did the final one in O2 Academy main room.
The last like 5, and I think they did like one a month for a while, didn't they? But
that was in the small room though, wasn't it?
No, they did a few in the main room, but then they started getting like people like the Hoosiers supporting them and stuff because they've got this like audience in Liverpool. And then we were lucky enough to play the album launch show of that, weren't we?
That was silly.
We supported them on the Mersey Ferry.
That was a funny time, wasn't it?
Yeah, fancy dress, wasn't it? And you walked sort of onto the Mersey Ferry and onto sort of like one of these underground rooms, and Murph was dressed as a slutty schoolgirl or something.
Pulling like some tights up or something. It was
That
just
was
a very like odd,
surreal
moment. There is someone that you've like massively looked up to. You find you kind of catch them in a compromising position almost. Yeah, it was cool. It was a really cool time. I think I was Starsky and Hutch. You were Superman, weren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what was mad about that? There was a captive audience from the start.
Yeah.
Because
you couldn't leave the boat.
Yeah. So we were first on, and it was like the biggest crowd we'd ever been. It was like us replaying to a full main room of Neo 2 Academy or something, wasn't it? It was just nuts.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, we'll call it a day, I think. Unless you've got anything else you want to chat about.
I just hope that everyone has a wonderful weekend. Yeah. Tell your loved ones that you love them, and just have a great time.
Opening up again next week, aren't they?
Yeah, but be safe as well. Feel like that's like a thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not finished yet.
No, but it's looking brighter.
Yeah.
And if you're on our YouTube, or if you're not, go and subscribe to that. You can see our Instagram handle down below there, so go and like us on Instagram or follow us. It's not like, isn't it? Yeah, follow us on Instagram.
Follow, yeah. There's too many of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. We'll see you next week, I suppose.
We will, yeah. And I hope you have a great week.
Yeah.
And
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. I don't have anything in there anymore. That's just empty.